What's going on, everybody? This is Nicholas Lau from Dallas, Texas. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that has absolutely taken over economy by storm, and that is RFX, Rapid Forex, which is binary options trading. Now, what is binary options trading? Well, binary options is time-based trading that requires technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Now, the difference between binary options trading and Forex trading is that with Forex, you are trading to hit a take profit. You're trying to prevent your trade by losing by having a stop loss. So a trade can take any period of time in order to get to that destination. But with binary options trading, it is time-based trading, meaning if you take a 3-minute trade, when you enter that trade, whether it's a buy or sell, when that 3 minutes is up, if your number is better than the number that you got in at, you have won that trade. So how does it work? It's almost like a video game, except for it does take a lot of skill sets. So I guess you can kind of compare it to poker. It's a game that you play, but it's a game that involves a high level of skills, being able to read the candlestick patterns, being able to read the markets, knowing exactly what is going on. So there's different types of trading. The one we specialize in is turbo trading, okay? So these are periods of time between 1 and 30 minutes, and to be specific, most of our trades are 3 minutes. Occasionally we'll have trades that are 5 minutes, but they're predominantly 3. We do have some educators that prefer 5-minute trades, but let's just say you're going to be within the 3 to 5-minute trades. And some of our educators prefer something that's called a rollover, and I'll teach you a little bit about that later. But basically what a rollover is, it gives you additional time if your trade is still out of profit. Now, as far as technical analysis goes, you need to know your top-down analysis, what market structure is, price action, and trend identification. Now, if you're a complete newbie and you don't know any of these things, it's okay. We actually teach right from the start. So we have people that are absolute beginners that had no trading experience whatsoever, and they've been able to come in and within a short period of time learn how to take trades on their own. But they don't even have to do that because our educators will go on multiple times a day during the weekdays, and we even have a crypto session occasionally on the weekend. So there's plenty of opportunities to join an educator on a live session and take trades with them as they take it. Now, when it comes to fundamental analysis, those are things like the news, the current events, currency strength. Those are very important because sometimes you might have a trade that's setting up perfectly and everything is great. Now you look at the currency strength and you're like, oh gosh, the currency that I wanted to sell is actually really strong right now. That should not deter you from taking the trade, but maybe that would make you caution and say, okay, let me not risk so much on this trade. Even though I like the setup, I have to take that currency strength into consideration. Sometimes current events will go to forexfactory.com, and you could actually see it right here in this little screen area. That's forexfactory.com, and what that does is it tells you all the important news that could affect the financial markets. Anytime you see a red folder, you don't see one here, but anytime you see a red folder, you would want to be cognizant of that and just tell yourself, wait a second, there's a red folder, I don't want to be trading at this time. Let me wait for that news to pass, and if my entry is still valid, then I can take it. Let's move on to the next slide over here. So what are we trying to determine? Will price go up or will price go down? It just depends. If in this case you have your strike price over here and you would do a call, then a call is a buy. That's why it's green. So you'd want the number to go above from here in the next 3 minutes. If you do a put, then it's going to be a sell. You'd want it to drop within the next 3 minutes. Okay. And your strike price is the price that you get in at. Now, you need to choose an asset to trade. Now, what is an asset? It's one of many different currency pairs, one currency versus another. It could even be gold. It can even be crypto. So there's a lot of different options to pick from, and every pair has a percentage that it's paying out. Now, these percentages fluctuate during the day. We try to urge our students to try to take trades that are 70% or better. Okay. Now, once in a while, you'll find an amazing setup. It's only paying 60%. If you want to take it, that's fine, because you also don't want to miss a great setup, but maybe you do that at a lower risk, because at the end of the day, you want to make as much money as you can, and you would rather make 75% profit than 60% profit. Okay. So let me go down here. Now, binary options compared to Forex. I explained it a little bit at the beginning. I'll explain it again. There is no counting pips. There is no stop loss in binary options with RFX. There's no take profit, there's no margins, there's no swap fees, there's no drawdown. It is easy for beginners. You know your risk to reward, meaning when you take that trade, you know what the outcome is going to be. You know how much you can win, you know how much you can lose. And it's nice to know that beforehand. There are no pending orders, at least the way we trade and the brokers that we use. We don't have any buy limits or sell limits, so we're doing market execution trades. So that means when the educator has a markup and they drop it into the chat, they might say that, hey, we have a great trade on AU, Australian dollar versus US dollar. Here's the entry price. When it gets to that entry price, go ahead and sell it. Okay, so that's how that works as compared to Forex trading. Now, benefits of trading binary options: you get a high return on investment, and you know your risk to reward because it's fixed. It's easy to trade, a lot less complicated than Forex. Now, one thing I will say is when you become a good binary trader, meaning you're learning how to trade on the smaller time frames, 15-minute, 5, 3, 1, whatever the case may be, when you learn how to trade on those time frames, it's only going to help your Forex trading. So we're using the same currency pairs. We're using the same charting software. We're just operating off smaller time frames. Now you get a fast turnover rate. You have free trading accounts with select brokers, meaning on some of the brokers, when you deposit money into your account but you're not ready to trade yet, you could ask them for a demo account. They'll give you a demo account to practice with as long as you make that deposit so they know you're serious. You can get in and out of the market very quickly, and you have the ability to compound faster than traditional Forex. You can start with very low capital. Most of the brokers that we use, they'll have anywhere between a $250 and $500 deposit to get started. And you can even get bonuses. Now, I will caution you, when you take a bonus from a broker, that means that you have to turn over that amount so many times. So let's just say that you have a 20% bonus, or let's say you have a 100% bonus, because sometimes they do. So you deposited $1,000, you got a 100% bonus, so you got another $1,000. Now you have $2,000 to work with. Now that bonus money is just there to help you build your capital. That's not bonus money you get to keep, but it's bonus money you get to trade with. And if you decide to cash out, they take the bonus money away, but you also have to turn it over. So let's just say you have to turn it over 10 times. So you have a $1,000 deposit plus a $1,000 bonus. Now you have $2,000 and you had to turn it over 10 times. You got to take that $2,000 and put $20,000 in trades. You don't have to build your account to $20,000, but over the course of time, you have to put $20,000 worth of trades in. And honestly, the way we trade, it happens pretty fast, but at the same time, I would still caution you not to take the bonus money if you don't want to tie up your funds, okay? All right, let's see. Now, regulated brokers, just like Forex brokers, binary brokers have their fair shares of pros and cons. When you do with a regulated broker, you have to follow very strict rules. They're very transparent. They limit the number of trades you can do in a day. They limit the number of rollovers if they even have a rollover option. Now, remember what a rollover is. Let's just say that you're in a 3-minute trade and it's going against you, meaning your trade is negative. Well, you have until 45 seconds left in the trade for most brokers to go ahead and hit the rollover button. If you roll over, then it gives you an additional 3 minutes. It'll cost you a little bit extra, but it's better than losing the trade if you think that, hey, another few minutes and I think I can clear this trade because I like my analysis. So that is what a rollover is. Also, regulated brokers can disqualify you from trading. They have more fees. They are harder to get approved. Now, with unregulated brokers, which is the brokers that we use, just like Forex brokers, binary brokers have their fair shares of pros and cons as well. Now, as far as unregulated brokers, there's no regulatory organization or group of persons monitoring them, okay? So you do take a risk when you work with unregulated brokers. There is a higher risk of potentially being scammed. I just like to, keep things transparent with you. Now, all the brokers that we use, we haven't had any sort of issues with them. They do pay out. Sometimes it takes them a little while to pay out. And one of the reasons I personally believe it takes a while to pay out is for several reasons. Sometimes they think that if they just delay a couple of minutes that you're gonna, or delay a couple of days, they feel like you're gonna get the urge to trade again, and you might lose that money. And if you lose that money, then you're not gonna want to do the withdrawal anymore. So those are some of the type of things you have to look out for. Also, since they take deposits in Bitcoin, they pay out in Bitcoin. Sometimes the price of Bitcoin fluctuating could have a play in how long it takes to pay you out. So what I would say, that when you get into binary trading, that money that you put in there, that has to be money that you're willing to leave in there, that you're willing to grow, and then over time take withdrawals like you're paying yourself a salary. You don't want to put in money and tell yourself that by the end of the month, oh, I'm going to pay my rent with this money, because you just don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're desperate on somebody paying you out on time, because like I said, they're unregulated brokers. They play by their own set of the rules. But like I said, we've had people that have been able to withdraw, upwards of $40,000 from a binary broker and get paid in full. They did have to go through some loopholes or jump through some hoops, I should say, to get approved. And make sure that they submit all their KYC verification, so that company knows that that is a real person, that when they pay them, that they're paying the right person. Also, with unregulated brokers, you have more freedom. You do have less rules. They're going to pay you out more. So when I'm telling you that you need to take trades 60 to 70, 75% or higher, with a regulated broker, sometimes they only pay 10, 20, 30% on a trade. So it's definitely not worth it. It's like, why would I put $100 on a trade to only get a profit of $30? It doesn't seem good when an unregulated broker will pay you 60 to 75%, sometimes even more. With an unregulated broker, it's easy to obtain an account. Honestly, even some of the brokers that say we don't accept citizens from the US, they'll still accept them. They just put that on their website because, they want to be compliant. But the thing is that, listen, if somebody wants to come over there and trade, they have no problem with it. If you want to deposit Bitcoin and trade and you win some money, you withdraw it, it's not really an issue for them. So it does cost less too, because some of the regulated brokers, they have like a higher deposit. And with unregulated brokers, like I said, they do have a higher payout. And that's pretty much the primary reason why we use them, is because they pay out better, where it makes it more worth our while. So let's talk a little bit about mindset. What makes an unsuccessful trader? An unsuccessful trader, they have no trading strategy. They literally just go on and trade and expect to hit a home run. They don't have any daily goals or anything. It's just they're just kind of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Not very good. Those are the same people that they'll over leverage as well. Meaning, what we recommend is that every trade should be 1% of your account. Okay, so if you have $1,000 account, every trade should be risking $10, 1%, right? Now, if you really like the trade, maybe you might go 2%, or if it's a low risk trade, maybe you'll go 0.5%. But what people that over leverage do, they'll have like $100 account and they're putting like $20 trades. You're leveraging 20% of your account on one trade. Not good. That's a recipe for disaster. Also, people that tend to overtrade, meaning when they hit their daily goal, let's say your daily goal is 3%, and you hit your 3% for the day and you keep trading because you're bored, you have nothing else to do, or maybe you're greedy, then all of a sudden you hit a bad trade. Now you're telling yourself, I want to take another trade to make up for that trade that I lost. So you don't want to do that as well. So that's another unsuccessful character trait. So no trading strategy, over leveraging, over trading, doesn't study, just shows up to the sessions and hopes to catch a few trades from the educators, but don't actually take time to study and hone their craft. So that's something. And too emotional. And I'll be honest, that one still gets me too. I've been working on the first four. The first four I'm pretty good at now. But there's always that emotional aspect where a trade activates and you get logged out of the account, and then you log back in and you feel like I still have to take that trade, and you get in at a worse entry and everybody else clears and you don't because of the worse entry or because you were in the trade 10, 15 seconds longer. You can't be emotional about this. Trades will come and go. It's okay to sit out a trade. You don't want to chase trades. If a day was bad, like if you lost 3 trades, you're done for the day. Some people will say if you lost 2 trades in a row, you're done for the day. So you have to determine what your parameters are and stick to them. On the flip side, what makes a successful trader? They do have an effective trading plan. They do understand their risk management. They are able to control their emotions. They do study and back test. And when I mean back test, it's go look at the charts and, if you have a trading view account and you have a paid trading view account and you have the replay mode, you can replay one candle at a time. So you can go back into history, set up a trade, and then just predict in your head, what will the candle do next? What will the candle do next? It's like, okay, I have a setup here. I'm going to call this a 3-minute trade. Then you press fast forward, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, I was right. I cleared the trade. That's an example of back testing. Also, if you lose a trade and you go back and review it and see what you did wrong, that's also an example of back testing. And of course, last but not least, you have to know when to stop. That is very, very important, when to call it a day, because trading is literally every day, especially now that you can trade cryptocurrency. You could literally trade on the weekends. Now, you're not going to have as much movement and many opportunities, but if you have a really good setup, all you have to do is mark up your trading views chart, set up your alert, and when that alert goes off, go ahead and log into your account and prepare to get that trade taken. So, like I said, there's 7 days a week where you can profit in this market. Now, here are the next steps. So you can start joining RFX today, start taking trades with us and become a better trader here at Economy. Number one, become a product of the product. I want you to immerse yourself in the education. I want you to fall in love with the process. This needs to be something that you fall in love with. When you become addicted to it, when you become consumed with it, that's when it'll start changing for you. But at the same time, when you do become consumed and addicted and fall in love, you still got to follow that trading plan. You got to be a successful trader, okay? So there's this fine balance that you need to have. Develop your study plan. You need to know when you can study the materials in the university and when you'll be able to study the charts. And master your emotions. Remember, trading is 80% mindset, okay? So if you can control your mindset, it's about 20% execution. Learn to master them, not only your emotions, but the ability to remain patient. For example, even today, before I got on this session to record for you, I had a few trade setups I liked. I marked up my charts, but I told myself I've already hit my goal for the day. I will not take these trades. I'm just monitoring them to see how they would do. Both trades won. Now, in the past, I would get emotional about that I missed out on good trades, but now I'm just happy that I can see a good trade when I can. So I felt really, really good today that I already made my daily goal and I was able to line up a few other trades and just monitor them and feel good that my analysis was correct. Now, you also want to develop your compounding plan. Risk what you're willing to lose to grow over time. Now, in a future video, what I'm going to do is show you how to develop a compounding plan. I'm basically going to take this video and break it into smaller segments so you understand every facet of binary trading. I just wanted to give you a brief overview today on what binary trading is. So I hope you learned a lot. My name is Nicholas Lau from Dallas, Texas. All my information is below in the description area. Please reach out to me if you'd like some more information or you want to get started. We have very affordable packages for people, and rest assured that if you have the time and the money to put into this, you will not only make your monthly fee back every month, you will actually be very profitable in the markets and you'll create another stream of income. And most of all, you'll probably be able to help your friends and family enjoy this as well. Thank you very much. My name is Nicholas Lau from Dallas, Texas. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.